it's me, Renee. I'm back. And yeah, today, as you can see, I've got a bit of an update video. So it's nearing the end of the year. Well, I would say it is the end of the year. What is the end of the year? I mean, definitions. Though, I suppose to be precise, it's nearing the last month of the year. So I would say it's the end of the year. But yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to do a little update on how my reading year has gone. I'm not gonna go into books that I really enjoyed in this video, like best books I've read this year and such. I'm probably gonna do some of those videos before next year, but I won't do that really in this video. This video is gonna be more like a look at my goals and have I done my goals that I planned to do this year. So I have three main goals this year, I would say. Well, I haven't looked back on my goals list. Do I have a goals list? Yeah, you see, have Moody and flighty I am whimsical. But I think maybe I had a video with a goals list, but anywho, this is things that are combined to it. And who knows, I probably will talk a bit more about my goals in another video as well, but I'm doing here as well. So first I'm going to talk about series. As usual, I kind of want to continue with some series. I want to finish some series. There's some series I want to start. With this list, because I kind of looked at over the list, the books that I have, the series and how I've gone with those. And yeah, so today I mainly went to books that I have, series that I have either continued with or that I have started. No, that I continue with or that I have finished. So series that I've started, haven't really gone into those really because I feel like that's kind of different element altogether, like starting series. I mean, it's part of the series conversation, but yeah. So yeah, and I kind of realized this year I've actually read quite a lot of series and finished quite a lot of them, which I'm quite happy with really. And I suppose you could also argue with some of these because some of these are companion series, and it's companion series because companion books, as well as you might know, a companion series is several books set in the same world where you don't have to read the books, all the books, but if you read them out of order, you will be spoiled from some things. So I suppose it depends on also a bit some companion books I would say are very well, very much into universe, and some are slightly in the same universe. So some of them are less companion books than others, but still. So yeah. So yeah, we have I've finished. I haven't finished. I've read the second and third book in the Malamander series by Thomas Taylor. It's a middle grade series that's it's kind of like one of those series that kind of feels out of time, I suppose in a way kind of like a series of fortunate events. I mean, it's kind of it's set in a modern-ish time because in this universe you have telephones, but you don't really have cell phones, and there's not really that much mention of the internet. It might mention now and then, but yeah, mostly it's not really mentioned that much. There's some magical abilities, magical elements to the series, but mostly it's kind of more magical-ish. It's more kind of yeah, charming, whimsical story in a way. So it's magical-ish in a way. It's not heavily magical, but it's kind of things are happening that uh uh probably you need magic to believe really. And yeah, I do quite recommend the series. I very much love it. It's set in an eerie town by the sea in the UK, and the town kind of gives this very good atmosphere, and which I just love. I mean, there's all this old history to this town, and yeah, I love the characters. I love the town. It kind of is a character in itself in a way, and yeah, the Malamander series, Thomas Taylor, definitely recommend it if you're looking for a middle grade series to check out. And then we have Loki, book 1 and 2. This is written by I know I should have already checked it out, and I forgot to check out that first. You know what? Give me a moment. Um, so the Loki series, it's written by Louis Stowell, or like Loki, because he like says like it's Loki, like god of Asgard. But yeah, it's because the narrator is Loki, but the author is Louis Stowell, which is a British person. I'm not quite sure what the gender identity is, but yeah. So far it's two books in Norwegian. I believe there's a third book coming out soon, because I believe the third book is already out in England. Yes, because I've seen one book with like a green cover. So yeah, um, I'm not sure how long this series is gonna be, but yeah, it's a middle grade book, all set around Loki. He's been banished to Middle Earth, or you know, Earth in other words, and he has to live as a teen in England and kind of be good. And of course, that kind of makes lots of shenanigans and funny things happen. Though I would say, honestly, I kind of like the first book better than the second book, though both are enjoyable. It's one of those books with lots of pictures. So if you're in a need for like a middle grade, uh, middle grade Christmas gift for someone who likes to read but prefers with pictures, check out the series, I would say. Then we have, give me a moment. Yeah, The Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant. This I listened to an audiobook. I listened to all of those on audiobooks. I don't really have anything to show you here. And some of the books I talk about are gonna be libraries and stuff, so I'm gonna show you all the books. And yeah. But anyway, so Happily Ever Afters is it's the name of the series. It's the same series as I'm blanking out the other names. I'm so silly. The first is called Happy Ever Afters. You know, I won't double check this. This is annoying me. I'm gonna check it out. What is it called again? What is it called again? Do, 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 do. Come on. Yeah, the first book is called Happily Ever Afters, and then you have One True Loves, and the third one is Reggie and Delilah's Year of Failing. Sorry, of Falling. Though it could be failing also in a way, really. And yeah, this last book was the one I read this year, an audiobook. It's so the story is that it's a YA book. So the story is that these two people they always run into each other. But in the beginning of the year they run into each other, and after a while they started to like meet on purpose. But they always end up meeting for like different occasions. So like the first time they meet is New Year's, and then the second time they meet is I think it's Easter. They meet on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, all these big holidays. Oh, big holidays. I don't know. Is St. Patrick that big? I suppose if you're Irish, it is. I mean, I would say Christmas is bigger than St. Patrick's. Yeah. Anywho, yes. So yeah, it's a quite lovely YA romance about um, being yourself, about how people see you and how you see yourself, because they both of them kind of mask in some different ways, and kind of also they kind of interpret people different, and yeah, it's quite very good story, I would say. Then I also finished this series, Meditation on Murder. This is the third book, but I finished. No, actually, this is actually the fourth book. Oh yeah, I have actually finished because this is finished the third book this year. I just showing you the fourth book because. But yeah, it's set in the same universe as A Death in Paradise. This British cozy crime series here. And so, I mean, by this time, it's been going on for like 11 years, I believe. But this series of books takes place like around the first series, around the first seasons. because that's like when those characters were there. And yeah, so it's kind of nice to like be back in that era of the universe. And yeah, if you like cozy crime, if you like locked room mysteries, check out those books. Highly recommend them. Sorry. Then we have the Princess Diaries number 12. Yes, Princess Diaries book came out. Well, it came out last year. No, it came out. Yes, sorry, it came out this year. So it's called the Coronation Diary. Sorry, Coronation Diaries. Corona Diaries. I mean, it was almost there, but yeah, not quite. So McCabbott, during the pandemic in 2020, she started writing some blogs from Mia's point of view. Like Mia picked up blogging again because she's been blogging now and then. And then yeah, she blogged for a bit and then she kind of stopped. And then this year she published a book which is kind of like a collection of blogs, but also the ending of the story that started in the blog. And honestly, I think this is one of her lesser books really. Uh, it's not really give me a moment. Honestly, I didn't really feel like this book was all that good really. I feel like you could have done it in so many different ways. In yeah, I feel like the beginning of it was kind of interesting and good, and then it kind of fizzled out, and yeah, I didn't like it that much. So yeah, yeah, I don't really have that much to say there. Really, it was kind of fun to listen to the podcast diaries. I mean, there's people who go through the podcast, Princess Diaries series, and do podcasts about them. Kind of fun them doing like a prediction episode, and then like afterwards, like yeah, nothing you predicted happened really, or not that much of it happened, and so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's a book that I read in that series. I suppose so far it's the last in the Princess Diaries series, though she has like said before that this is the last book. So I kind of feel like Princess Diaries series. I feel like she might like pick it up now and then because I feel like it's one of those series because it's one of those books about some people, about characters, and characters you can kind of check out, whenever something happens. Like if you're gonna write yeah, if you're gonna write some series like picking like a character based series, you can pick up whenever. If it's a book based around that quest, then you can't really have it forever because that's kind of mean to like have someone uh, being in mortal danger for like 80 books. That's kind of a bit much. But like if you just like do a series of like people talking and living their life, yeah, you can kind of pick it up whenever I feel like. So yeah, you might get more Princess Diaries. We don't know so far, but probably never say never. And yeah, then sorry. We also have the second book in the Alcatraz and Evil Librarians by Brandon Sanderson. I listened to the second one on audio as a well. The first one, did I do the first one on audio as well? No, yeah. The first one I read, and then the second one on audio. And yeah, very much enjoyed it as an audio thing. Like the narrator did the very good voices and whatnot. So yeah, very much enjoy that. Definitely gonna continue with that series. I mean, it's the first and second in the series for 4 books. So you know, is there a spin-off series? I don't remember. Anyway, yep. Sorry. Then we also have yep. I also read 2 more books in the Magic Treehouse series by Mary Osborne, Mary Kate Osborne. Yeah. Anyway, this is it's they've done a comic retelling of some books that came out in '90s and I think like 2000 as well. Yeah. So it's a kind of chapter book. So it's I wouldn't say it's completely millimeter. I would say it's more chapter book. It's like very short chapters, and like every book they time travel to someplace, and then something happens, and then they get back. Luckily, in one piece and whatnot. And in the third book, you kind of get a bit more information about what's happening. So that's kind of fun. And yeah, I did I do enjoy those. Like the fourth book, I listened to an audio, and I enjoy those. But I think I'm gonna complete, but mainly continue it on like in comic form because I really much like the pictures in this series. I mean, yeah, I'm not like a huge comic fan, but like when I do, it's because I love the illustrations, and I really love the illustrations in this series. So yeah. Hmm. Then we have yeah, The Uncommoners. So the book three in the Uncommoners by Jennifer Bell. I believe no, yeah, according to Storygraph, I did read the third book this year, not the second book, but yeah, the third book. So I read that in like early this year, and yeah, I very much enjoyed how that book the series ended. It was kind of it was kind of weird because the first two books are available in Norwegian, the third book isn't. So I read the first two in Norwegian and then ended in English because I had to know how it ends. So it's kind of weird to like shift my gear like when I'm reading a book, like there's these magical names that suddenly have different names because different languages. But yeah, and I very much, yeah, as I said, I loved how like one of the mysteries was solved. I did not see that coming. I very much enjoy that. And yeah, and just kind of how the whole world really ended. Stories, stories. How the whole world ended, how the whole series ended. I love that. So yeah, The Uncommoners by Jennifer Bell. Definitely a book, a series I would highly recommend out if you're into that kind of thing, like middle grade magic. Though they say it's not magic, it is magic. It's not like it's not science fiction. It's magic based, I would say. But just magic-ish. Well, I mean, there are rules to it. I would say it's a soft magic system, but yeah. Sorry. Mhm. So then we have this next one on the list. It's kind of like, do I include it? Because okay, so I read, and I'm like out on name. This is annoying. You know what? I want to check it out. Give me a moment. So I read Shipwrecked this year, which is the third in the spoiler alert series, companion series. And I read spoiler alert, loved it. Have not read All the Fields, which is the second book, but I don't plan to read it. And Shipwrecked is the third book. So like, can I now count the series as finished? Because I don't plan to read the Morning Middle, even though it's a companion book, so you don't have to read it. I mean, anyhow, I read third on in the series, but yeah, you know what? I'm counting it, and then you can just say what you want. I'm counting it as finished because yeah. Blah 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 blah. And yeah, then we also have oh yeah, I'm gonna run a bit here, but yeah. Then I also read The Queen's Council Book Two, which is Mulan's story. So The Queen's Council is a Disney publication series, Disney YA book series, where Disney gets lots of different authors to write one book, well, some books do more books, but yeah, a book based on a Disney movie, where they kind of do like a sequel and what happens afterwards. But it's kind of it takes um it takes the idea from like story that happens in the movies, but like it happens and the story happens afterwards. They don't use everything from movies, and sorry, and it's kind of more historical based, and like it's not that much magic based. It's more like historical in there. Like the first book happened around the French Revolution, so yep. And yeah, second book was Mulan's story, and I love Mulan, and I love this book, so highly recommend that book. I'm blanking out the name at the moment. I mean, it should be around here. Yeah, I have so many books. But yeah, it's a very good book. So check that one out, the Queen's Council series. Check it out. And then yeah, I also finished the Sherlock Holmes series, which I've started last year, and I didn't finish quite all the series, so I just had like 2 or 3 short stories left, which I did early this year. And yeah, I quite like them. I wouldn't say like do I have a favorite Sherlock Holmes story? I'm not quite sure. Are all of them like amazing? No. But like I like them like as a concept. I kind of like also like how not all of Sherlock Holmes stories are like people dying. Some of them are like, okay, someone's been kidnapped, like something's been stolen. I feel like it's kind of fun where crime, where it's not crime thing is not someone's dead, but it's something else. And yeah, kind of fun to have finished the whole Sherlock Holmes universe really now. So happy with that. Um, yeah, probably gonna think I might like reread them sometimes. But yeah, as of now, I've finished them all once, and yeah. And let me see what else. What else? What else? Yeah, and then these two books kind of interesting again because I read The Sun and the Star and The Chalice of the Gods. They're both in the Percy Jackson universe, but they're both kind of meant to like. Well, the first one, Chalice of the Gods, is kind of like you first tell like it's standalone, but then it's kind of talk about like okay, there's gonna be more books, but I feel like it's kind of just standalone-ish. And The Sun and Star is a standalone, though it is in this universe. So, do you include standalones that are in universes in like a series talk wrap up? I do anyway. So yeah, The Sun and the Star is kind of like the book that takes place like closest like in the continue in a timeline. It takes place like closest last like Challenge of the Gods is like in the Apollo era, and Son of the Star is the last book like in the whole to do timeline. So yeah, Sun Star I would say was probably a bit more emotional and yeah, emotional really than Challenge of the Gods, though that one was in some ways as well. Sorry. And then we have Scholarly Peasant, book number 14, Dead or Alive, finished this earlier this year. And that is, I believe, not wrong, but because I thought the last one was also, I think this is the next to last one. So I think number 15 is the last one. Because like anywho, I do know there's so scholarly book out there I have not read because it was one that came out last year. I have not picked up yet, but yeah, I want to pick it up soon. And yeah, then we have The First Day Murder Club by Richard Osman. I read I read the third book in that series, The Bullet That Missed. Read that in like Easter time this year. I have the fourth book. I've not read that one yet, but I have the fourth book. But yeah, so I have like I'm up to date like because I got the third book like last year. So like I read all the books. Well, all books. I have the fourth book, so I haven't read that one. But yeah, I've almost finished that series. Now we have Warren Speedwell number 2. I finished that one. Very much enjoyed it. I have started book 3 like in June. Have not gone much further than that really so far, but yeah. Mm. Then we have the Boyfriend Project by well, Boyfriend Project is the series name by like yet again by Ferrer Rochon. This is the third in this companion series, and I read all the 3 books in this series, so yes, pat on my back for that. This last book is enemies-ish to lovers. They're not enemies-ish, but like yeah, because maybe they're like more yeah. Well, second no, it's not second. Yeah, it's kind of enemies-ish tendencies to lovers, and I enjoyed it. I would say all in all, like I suppose a bit of a wrap up here, but yeah, all in all, I kind of the all 3 books, I would say I enjoyed the first book the most. So yeah, but I would say like still check out all the books because none of them are awful, but for me the first book was the best. Probably because like the first book has like a spy or like mystery element to it, and I quite like that. And yeah. Yes, and then we have yeah. You know, I will show you a book because why not? Okay, this book. How do you talk about this when you talk about series? Because It's the second series in a universe that Robin Stevens has written about before, but it's the second series. It's the first book in the second series. Yeah, I suppose also first book. I was supposed to talk about first book. Yeah, okay. You know what? It's the first book, so I'm just gonna not talk about it. But yeah, because it's likely a sequel to the other books, but it's likely not. Okay, it's been included slightly here, so yeah. Then I finished the Benny series. This is a Norwegian series, as you see. Hopefully soon it will be around the whole world. But so far, right now, I feel like it's only out in Norway. Is it out in Sweden? I don't know. Might be. I don't know actually. But yeah. It tells the story of a preteen. I mean, in this book he's 13. First book he's 11. So like around those years. And yeah, in this book he and his boyfriend go on vacation together, and then some shenanigans happen as they always do in this series. And yeah, I very much enjoyed this book, and a bit sad the series is over. I suppose you never know, like he might go to these characters in the future, but like as of right now, it's concluded, which yeah, it's a bit sad. But all good things must come to an end. And I suppose it's good that you're sad something's concluded, because if not, it's just kind of like another book, and then yeah, you kind of want to go out on top really when you're still sad that it's ended. So yeah. So yeah, I would say all in all, I would say my series reading this year has been top notch, pretty good. I've been continuing quite a lot, finishing quite a lot, and yeah, quite happy with that. I also have like I had some series that I've read like this year that I didn't really plan to read, and I read it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, it was good enough. Like I kind of like forgot it was part of a series, so I didn't really include that because it was like I often have like some sort of plan like this series I want to continue on. So I'm not gonna mention book series or series books that I read uh, accidentally or randomly, because yeah, they're not really part of the plan, the big plan. So yeah. And then I also have this year I've also, give me one moment, like my notes again. Well, I have notes like the notes, write notes. So yeah, this was kind of inspired by last year, because last year it was 50 years here in Norway since it became legal to be gay. It wasn't like illegal like before. 50 years ago, last year it was illegal, and then last year it became legal. Not illegal, legal. And then last year, I tried to like read 50 books, because 50 years. So 50 books with like queer identity, queer element to it. But I got this idea like last August or something. So and I kind of didn't really pull through it all the way. So yeah, I think that I may ended up reading like 20 books, something like that. So I started, but I didn't go all the way. So I kind of want to try like this year to read 50 books with queer elements. And honestly, this year I counted them like how many there are, and this year I am good on my way, because so far this year I read not 10, not 20, not 30, but 45. So I'm only 5 away from my goal. I thought maybe I should do like 51, because it's been 51 years now. No, I mean, it's only few weeks left of the year. Yeah, 5, 6. I'll just see what happens. But yeah, so yeah, honestly, I'm quite happy here. And also, I suppose if I for some reason don't read anymore with queer aspects to it, I mean, 45, it's quite a big build up from last year's 20. So I'm just kind of happy with the uh, general growth of it, really, moving forward of it. So yep. Uh, As with a lot of people, a lot of I can't speak for everyone really. But like this September, around then, there became this thing around the booknet with like 24, 23 for 23, with like around like people more diversifying their TBRs and diversifying their reading habits. So like how people often have a lot of white people on their bookshelves, and what people that read from their library or whatnot. And then the kind of people want to enhance persons of color in the author environment. So it's kind of like read 23 books for the rest of 2023. So, and you might think like 23 because that's this year, 2023, but actually it's because 23 authors became like part of this idea. Like I wanted to do this project thingy, like help people. So like they made like a web page. They have like a list of offers and whatnot. But it's not like really like you have to read those offers. It's just kind of more like an idea to like check out more persons of color before the end of the year, like to read. So for this, I'm only counting persons of color that I've read from. I believe it was September. So yeah, I count from September. It might be that in August, but I'm doing from September. So like yeah, from September to like December, like the reads I finished and it's going towards this. And so far I've read 17. So yeah, not that long ago, not that far ahead until I get to 23. I have some like yeah people on my list I want to check out. So yeah, that is also quite a goal I'm quite happy with. That's quite doing quite good. So yeah, that is not that bad really, I would say. And then last but not least, sorry, I kind of I decided to check out my earlier video from last year, this year, no, yeah, early this year. I thought about some offers I want to read this year. And so yeah, I also mentioned in that video um like, again Brandon Sanderson. I have continue with this series. So yeah, I'm kind of counting like him. I'm kind of read more this year, so like I checked him off. And yeah, so I thought about wanting to read Sarah Maclean books. I do quite still want to check her out. Because I love her podcast, Haters Mates, and I feel like she has quite a lot of backlist and quite a lot of different books. I suppose slightly why I haven't picked her up yet, because I'm kind of not sure where to start with her. Like I mean, there's some audiobooks available from her. Well, probably a lot of them, but like in my audiobook app. I don't have any physical books by her, and I don't think there's any books by her like in the libraries that I go to. So yeah, I'm not quite sure where to start with Sarah McLean. So like, if you have a book by her, you kind of like, check out this book. This book is amazing. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, then we have Robin Hobb, which actually started in June, May. I started earlier this year. I kind of felt she maybe had like too dense of a writing style. Like there was, I don't know. I feel a bit silly when I say it. Like some books, I kind of feel like they're too wordy. I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird to complain about books having lots of words. That's what some people really love comics, so I'm not against that. But yeah, I feel like so for me, it's kind of like if a book like there's a difference when a book like here you see. I don't really mind that picture. Okay, the picture doesn't remember. Okay, go away from there. But for example, here, like here, you see there's words all over, but there's some air here and there. But like Robin Hood books, as I said, I checked one of them out from the library, and like there was words everywhere, and there was just tiny writing, if I do remember wrongly, and it kind of also felt like a bit slow, and I kind of gave up on her. I feel like maybe I'm checking her out next year, maybe, but so far she's not really being prioritized by my mommy in my head. Really, she's not gonna do that. So yeah. Then we have Judah Taylor, which I think I started with one of her books, and I don't really remember that much about it. So I'm thinking I probably wasn't that interested because I mean, if you have read the book and don't remember that much about it, that kind of says something. Yeah, not that memorable really. So yeah, but So do you believe me? Because I have two books with her. I feel like one of them I gave to charity. I feel like one of them I still have in my TBR shelf. Maybe I'll check out the other one because I mean, some authors have like huge backlogs, and like if an author has written like 200 books, it's kind of impossible that you love all of them. So yeah, so maybe I'll try the other one. If I want to try it before the end of the year, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Unpredictable. Unpredictable that way. And then last but not least, I also had like Lisa Kleypas on this list, and I tried one book with her, and I remember DNFing. I remember also like feel like it was just so slow, and I kind of feel like I didn't really feel like that into the characters. Didn't like feel like they kind of caught my attention. So yeah, I don't know. That book I did go away. I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I did go away. And we'll give her another try. I mean, she has a lot of books also still out, so maybe. But yeah, yeah, that is kind of this update for right now. Maybe am I gonna mention some books that I want that are part of the series and whatnot? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna shout out some books that I want to read soon-ish now of this universe. So I want to read. So you have Conceal Don't Feel, which is part of the Twisted Tale series. So yeah, this would be part of that series. I just read one on Twisted Tale series books, but yeah. And then we have Dragon Blood Ring by Amparo Ortiz. This is a POC offer, and also this is second in a duology, so will work for two of my goals. And then yeah, other than that, yeah, uh, I have started this one slightly. I want to continue with it. It's a Twisted Tale anthology book. So yeah, it's a bit of a chunker, but kind of want to finish it for the end of the year. And you know what? I've been sitting here for a while. I'm just gonna end it here. And yeah, if you have any comments, thoughts, whatnot, please talk to me in the comments. And I'll see you soon. I mean, yeah, as you might have mentioned, my noticed my cold is kind of gone. I would say I still have like I suppose now I'm kind of feeling throat. I feel like that might because of for like half an hour now. But I'm not really feeling very bad, like I was earlier, like last week and stuff. And like this week, I'm not really very busy, so I'm probably gonna do more videos later on this week. And yeah, I'll see you.